Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Gargoyle's Quest Ghosts and Goblins, and thankfully it's the only one of those games off the top of my head that has that subtitle. The last part we started off the game and got the poltergeist candle from King Jark, and now we're gonna go find the king. His palace is up ahead, but it's like walking into death's arms. I wouldn't go there. Yes? Finally, one of courage. This is the armor of the dragon. May it keep you whole. The Armor of the Dragon is the first armor type ability. Armors just increase your HP. In this case, it increased our HP to 3. It's basically, there are 3 armors, you get 1 health point per, really. And this is just a simple tunnel, there's nothing really to worry about here. Now, one thing I find interesting about this series in Japan is that over here, they're obviously called Gargoyle's Quest, Gargoyle's Quest 2, and Demon's Crest. But in Japan, they are actually outright called Red Armor. Firebrand is actually an American name. The only game out of the trilogy that's not called Red Armor in Japan is the third one, Demon's Crest, which over there is called Demon's Blazon, I believe? Which, we'll see what that's like when we get to it. Also, there's an extra life right here, so that's cool. They actually do place a good amount of extra lives in your way, and I do like that detail. Well, not detail, design element. If you go north, you'll find the palace. King Darkoan? I heard he was killed by the destroyers. Is it Darkoan or Dark One? I don't know. Mind you, this game has a lot of mistranslations to begin with. He with the power of the blockbuster can break even the hardest stone, which is what we have. The king hid many vials full of magic potions and essence of the soul stream. I don't know about that because I've only ever found one of them. Some ghouls have changed sides. Be careful. I will. And with that, we can now move on. That's all that's in that village, really. Firebrand, let me test your strength. And now we have another fight against these guys. Every enemy does have a name, but they're not worth mentioning because who cares anyway, right? That's always been a bit of a thing about game series that aren't named Mario, Zelda, and some of Mega Man, I guess, is that more often than not, a lot of enemy names are not just worth remembering. Like, I love Metroid to death, but if they're not the Metroids or some of the Zebes enemies, I'll be damned if I can remember what they're called. And this suffers that exact same fate. Hey there, what are you doing? If you're loafing around, I'll eat you. That's a jump, sir. I guess this is supposed to be a prison of some sort. They never really go into detail. In fact, honestly, I'll go into more of this as we go through the series, but I honestly think that the Gargoyle's Quest games are in need of a remake, like a collection of all 3 combined into one game on the 3DS. That could be good. We were caught and thrown in here. What's happened to the realm? It's bad, I'll tell you that much. The path to the palace is blocked. If we only had the wings of the falcon, we could get there with one jump. That will be in play in a moment. Alright, what do you guys have to say? I saw some strange wings under the huge tree behind the palace. Maybe they are wings of the falcon? No, falcon, there wasn't even a question mark there. A foreign army attacked here a long time ago. Could it be the someone? What? Could it be the someone? Oh, huh. You know, NES games have bad translations, but good lord. Dark One is dead. Why don't you join our side? We were caught and thrown in here. What's happened to the... What is going on with the dialogue in this town? Either way, the wings of the falcon are obviously our next goal, and the tree that it's talking about was actually on screen just a moment ago. I showed it off even. Because there's Dark One's palace, here's the tree behind it. Check the floor in front of it, we have the wings of the falcon. What a wing type equipment does is that it increases your wing meter on the bottom right when you're in the platforming stages. Basically, you can fly for longer. It doesn't increase your jump height, but it does allow you to fly for longer. Which is incredibly useful. Either way, all that's left for us to do is technically to head right towards the palace, but we want to head left for something that's very useful. Remember that soul stream thing people have mentioned? Well, let's just say we're gonna try and find that. But we do have this enemy, which I forget. Is this the... This is the Mudmen people. Okay. Basically, these guys go up and down between a few different blocks in the various ways you can fight them, and that's about it. They're not... They're kind of annoying just due to the fact that you can't constantly be hitting them, but they are incredibly simple all the same. Kind of have to wonder why they bothered with random battles as an element. But over here we get the essence of the soul stream. What this does is you can use it in platforming stages to recover your health. It's not a, I think it's technically a one and done thing per stage, but I'm not entirely sure about that, honestly. Also now we have chariot men, just shoot them in the butts. That's all I have to do. Every now and then they will actually shoot a projectile at you, and after they do that, they'll actually head in the direction that you are in from their perspective. So, like, in that case, I was above them, so we couldn't really have a choice, but say if I was to the left of it after it fired its projectile, it would have started moving left. Hello, sir. You won't live long enough to use those wings. This is one of the more annoying fights in the game, these hunchback creatures. The way they attack, first off, that's the essence of the soul stream right there. The way that these guys attack is that they can either do touch damage, or they can throw their heads. Touch damage does, I believe, either 2 or 3. So these guys can be kind of lethal. You don't need to hit the heads, though. You just need to hit the bodies in order to destroy them, as you saw there. Kind of annoying, but not the worst. And now let's head over the bridge. As you can see, there's a gap in it. This is why you need the wings of the falcon. However, just purely jumping won't actually allow you to make it. You need to cling onto the wall and jump from that to get the extra distance required to barely make it. Ooh, boy. And after this, it's just a straight shot right. Nothing really troublesome, honestly. I do recommend using the walls instead of the platforms to recover your flight meter, because honestly, these platforms suffer a bit from Gutsman syndrome in Mega Man 1, and at the moment you touch them, they fall like rocks, which is realistic in that case at least, but not very good game design in my eyes. Unless it's I want to be the guy, in which case that's kind of the whole design point of it, isn't it? Either way, here's Darkoan's palace. And it has a town in it. Firebrand, why are you here? Don't tell me you've changed sides. I don't know. What do you think, zombie? Darkoan is locked up in there. Okay. That must be the King of Destruction's army. They've been called from their graves to destroy the Ghoul Realm. Okay then. Darkoan has lost his power. Our realm will surely perish. I am so confused. Although going to that top floor actually gets us to a platform level, and something I'll warn you about right now. See that floor right in front of me that's slightly raised above the resin as like a white pixel beneath it? Don't step on that. It's a switch. What it does is that it makes those fire bars from the one bridge show up. And that can be very lethal, because while I have 3 health, that's still 2/3 of my health gone in one shot, and that's not good. One thing I will very much criticize, well, first off, those blocks right there in the bottom right, you can break those with Blockbuster. That's the main thing you're supposed to break, what you're supposed to break it with, that's the main thing you're going to be breaking with Blockbuster throughout the game. My biggest complaint with the Gargoyles quest series, and we'll see this a bit more as we go through, more so in 1 and 2 than 3, is that I feel like they don't give you enough health for the enemies around you, or at least they don't balance the damage out in a good way. Because, especially here in 1 and a bit in 2, you don't have enough health to survive more than 2 attacks in some instances, and that's kind of stupid. Either way, once you're up here, there is actually wind pushing you, so watch out for that. And there's also one of the more annoying enemies in the game coming up, the vampire skeleton thing. These guys, the way they work is that they just follow you once or twice, and then they'll just continue following you, I believe. Later on, they'll actually run away from you after 2 follows, so that's pretty cool, but here they can be pretty annoying. Also, that the lightning bolts are surprisingly bad, because that can actually slow down the game enough to the point where your control might get screwed up. Also, I believe that those vials right there, like the bigger ones, I think those are worth 2 or 3 instead of 4. Actually, no, I think they're 4. It's either 4 or 5. I want to say 4 because considering everything costs 8, 16, 32, and 64 for the Talismans of the Cyclone, that makes sense. Either way, next boss fight is, what's this guy's name, actually? I think it's Belazamos? And this is actually a pretty interesting fight. The way he works is that he'll start off fire projectile, then split off into 4 flies, and then he'll randomly become one of those 4 flies. I think they have to be on screen for him to become them, which means he'll more often than not only become one because you either kill the one or only have one on screen to begin with. And then he'll repeat the pattern from there. It's an easy fight, but I actually have fun with that one. And Firebrand's just so happy that he won. Look at that smile. And like with the previous fight, the first boss fight, the floor becomes safe again. Because I think the floor otherwise is technically a bottomless pit. And that's King Darkoan. But first we want to get the stuff on the floor. We got 3 vials, that's good. And in my eyes, much more importantly over here, I believe it was a Talisman of the Cyclone? Yep. So that's cool. Let's talk to King Darkoan, Dark One, whatever. Oh yeah, we need to use the candle of the poltergeist on him, don't we? The candle of the poltergeist? Light it! The body of Dark One moved a little. I can move. My power was stolen by the King of Destruction, Brieger. I can't recover my strength until he is defeated. Only the Red Blaze can do that. You must seek it. According to legend, it will burn our enemies out of the realm. Yes. Okay, I'll give you my remaining power. The power of the king flows into your body. Your nails and wings become stronger, so now we can jump slightly higher and fly slightly longer. Kinda strange, but I'll take it. And the moment we leave the castle, we're now to the right of it, so we actually cannot backtrack at all. Because the thing is about Gargoyle's quest is that it is a very linear game. There are no exploratory chances at all. Bindman has the Candle of Darkness. He lives in the southeast parts of the land. What the hell was that sentence about? You need the Candle of Darkness if you want to see Major Rita. Okay. Major Rita? Can't help you. Now that's a good sentence. While we're here, we might as well grab the password. And as for the passwords themselves, I believe they are entirely influenced by what you've done in the game, the amount of vials you have, and the amount of extra lives you have, I think. Otherwise, I think they're exactly the same. Like, if you probably have done the exact same stuff I have with the exact same amount of vials and lives, you probably got that exact same one. Which is kind of strange, but okay. Also, I'm gonna buy some things, some talismans of the Cyclone, because extra lives are good. And as you can see, now their price is doubled to 16. I believe at every other village from here on out, the price is going to be doubling again. And since you saw we can't backtrack to the original town where we can buy them now, you're stuck with 16 plus for price from here on out. So let's get on out and see if we can find a place to go, at least. Thankfully, there aren't many places you can explore in this game, like immediately the other town. Okay, that was fast. You're as red as fire. That's why I'm called the Red Armor. Someone stole the Candle of Darkness. Okay. With the powers of Claw, you can easily climb even the sheerest wall. What the hell does that mean? And that's the password screen. That is one thing I don't like about this game, actually. The buildings aren't labeled, so you can't tell if you're going into one that has extra lives or the password. It's not a very decent, not a very major thing to begin with. It's actually incredibly minor, but that can be kind of annoying. You're Firebrand, aren't you? You look like a hero. Try your skill against me. Sure. And now you have to fight, I guess, a gremlin. This is honestly one of the more annoying fights in the game, because the way it works is that this guy will only ever follow you to where you were. I'm not sure if he stops exactly where you were, or if he just tries to go in your direction. But because of that, you actually need to constantly be on your feet in this fight, and it's actually pretty fun because of that. However, he's also the most annoying fight in the game because of it, at least in terms of non-boss fights. Also, as you can see, our wing meter is really big now. You are truly worthy. I bestow the Armor of Guile upon you. So now our HP is increased to 4 out of 5. Yeah, this game goes pretty fast. Whoa, you're very strong. See you later. Okay, bye, guy. And hey, Byman. Obtained 3 vials. I'm the Baron of the land. Byman, Firebrand. Are you too late? You are too late. They took the candle. It's in the desert of destitution to the east of here. Sure? You are chicken-hearted. You obviously have no use for power. Your powers in your life are mine. No? Yes? What does that even mean? You are brave. If you can recover the candle, I'll tell you where Majorita is. I have no idea what that sentence is. I guess it's kind of a Darth Vader, stick with me and we can rule the galaxy's father and son kind of deal or something? I don't know. Majorita lives in the Cave of Darkness. But there is no way to get there. What? Okay, with those really weird sentences, I'm going to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 3, we'll be heading towards the desert to the east of us so we can get the Candle of Darkness and hopefully find Majorita afterwards in the process. See you guys then.